All right, y'all. Welcome to another edition of Sound Vision on Life. My name is Adewale Abuka Jr. Please review us. Rate us, give us a 5-star, don't be a hater. Today, we're going to conclude the Karjakz Vs Assassins Universal Saga. We're also going to bring it back in the future, but for today, subsequent weeks, I talked about the Karjakz first of all by themselves. Then I talked about the Assassins. Now I'm going to talk about the whole universe. We're going to call this one is about the Karjakz versus the Assassins fight, and we're going to figure out who would come out on top, versus each other. So, first of all, let's show you all the bio book, as I've been talking about this for subsequent weeks. You want to get your copy today at sciencevisionshop.com or sciencevisionshop.com. And also, too, let's check out the poster, right? If you want your own poster, you can visit sciencevisionshop.com or sciencevision.com. So, check out these awesome heroes. So, let's start off with the matchups, right? So, first of all, we're going to start off with Shepard versus Snipes. So, Shepard is a Karjakz, which is a hero. And of course, you got Snipes. So this is Shepard. Y'all who don't remember, that's Shepard right there versus Snipes, who's a villain. This is Snipes. So in this kind of first battle, I guess you could call it Battle of the Sexes, but you shouldn't look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? So these are incredible characters. So like Shepard versus Snipes. Well, one person's blind and one person's not. They both have great hand-to-hand combatant skills. So let's break down what each person can do. Of course, the real name is Vincent Pierce. Alias is Shepard. Citizenship is Canadian. He's from Vancouver, Canada. 6'1", 195. He's got black eyes. Hair color is black, of course. He's a surgeon. Now, let's talk about the fighting skills specifically. Master in Taekwondo, Karate, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And his weapons are the quantum bow, quantum arrows, and sing visor, and a sing gun. And he also uses these sing discs. Now, the thing about Shepard is he has so many tools because these weapons allow him to see. Of course, he can't physically see, but it sort of creates a radiation type of like a infrared type of vision scope that allows him to be able to see what he's dealing with. And this really comes in handy, especially in battle. Now, let's break down Snipes, right? Who's a villain. She's not blind. She's not any of that. She's just straight. She can kick you, you know what. So she's a great hand combatant. Let's break her down who she is. Of course, she's an assassin. Real name's Nicole Pham. Alias is Snipes, French-Algerian. Place of birth is Paris, France. She's 5'10", 147, green eyes, hair color is purple, black. Occupation, she's a supermodel. Fighting skills, master in karate and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. How crazy is that? She's a villain and she's a supermodel and she can kick your butt later on at night. That's just crazy. So let's talk about these two individuals. In thinking about it, right, because I haven't had time to think about it. I've had 2 weeks to conceptualize who to win this fight. This fight will go to Snipes, not because he's a better hand combatant, but because I think she would totally underestimate him. He's a blind guy. Most people underestimate this guy. Shepard is sincerely underestimated. He's seriously underestimated. And in a hand-to-hand combat, not to mention, he's just a better, I think he's going to be more wise in his choice of combat, how he's going to take her on. He's not going to try to be like, I'm going to muscle her or anything like that. It's just going to be like, he's going to have to tactically take out, because you have to keep in mind, each person has weapons. And if you take away the weapons in their hand, it's going to come down to hand combatant skills. So for this fight right here, Shepard versus Snipes, Shepard's going to come out on top. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him losing to her. It's going to be 1 win for the Karjakz right now and 0 wins for the Assassins. So that's 1-0. So on to our next matchup, right? We've got Sincere versus Kanji. Now let's track back to Sincere, right? So this is Sincere, of course, y'all can see. And before I move on, because I knew I forgot to show y'all something, let's have a look at Shepard again, for those of y'all who want posters, right? There he goes. And let's have a look at Snipes, right? Because I know a lot of y'all are Karjakz Vs Assassins fans out there, and this universe continues to expand. So check that out, right? You see her, deadly as ever. So, now we're going to move on to our next phase, Sincere versus Kanji. This is a very integral matchup, y'all. We're talking about two powerful ladies, great hand combatant skills. There's a sisterhood here. And also, too, there's a betrayal factor here, too. But I'm not going to get into that because that's something y'all going to have to read about in the book. The first official Karjakz Vs Assassins comic book is coming out soon. Let's talk about Sincere, right? So Sincere, real name is Scarlet Gray, alias Sincere, citizenship, American, South American, place of birth, Albuquerque, New Mexico. She's 5'9", 140 pounds, eyes are hazel, hair color is black/gray. Occupation, she's a news reporter/journalist, and her fighting skills include shadow arts, Muay Thai, and master karate. Now, this shadow arts, I've brought that up before. That's a that's a technique that the assassins use. And you're wondering how Cynthia got shadow arts and her fighting abilities. Well, I'm not going to go there today. And you can find that out in the book when it comes out. So now let's talk about Kanji, right? Kanji is an assassin. She is ferocious, man. Not to be messed with. So let's check out Kanji, right? Look at that. Man, she ain't to be tried. So Kanji, she's an assassin. Her real name is Kanji Lee, alias Kanji, of course. Citizenship, Filipino, South African. She was African, basically. Her father's African. She's a place of birth, Luzon, Philippines. 5'10", 158, blue eyes, hair color is red, black. Occupation, student, major in graphic design. As powerful as she is, and she loves art. She really loves art. And then fighting skills include mastering karate and shadow arts. Now, I talked about shadow arts, right? Sensei also has shadow arts. Now, you got to think about these two ladies, right? Both use katanas, energy katanas. Both use an array of weapons, and both are great hand combatant skills. Now, what you don't know is that Sensei and Kanji, I'm gonna give you a little thing, used to train together. And so there's sort of a betrayal factor here when she goes on the other side, goes to the Karjakz. So it's pretty twisted. But now when you come down to the fight itself, right? Hand-to-hand combatant, you know what I'm saying? Sensei is gonna take this lady because it's almost like the master always defeats the student. Well, not all the time, but this time that's gotta happen because I honestly feel like Sensei, if you measure every single character in the Karjakz Vs Assassins universe, she might be the best fighter in the whole universe. I mean, this lady, and what makes her great is, you know, not that being a journalist or being a news reporter matters, but she's sort of investigative. So, of course, if she's going to fight somebody, she wants to know the strengths and weaknesses of the person. So we're talking about the lady who's very detailed, whereas Kanji, she trusts her skills and she knows there's not really anybody who can mess with me. I can take everybody. And then in a way, it sort of creates this arrogance. And so when you're going against somebody who's the opposite of you, who wants to figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are, this way you come in and you're going to lose. So this fight right here, they fought before the first time. I was like, it was just getting by. But this time, it's going to be the same thing situation again. Sensei barely gets out because it's hard to beat somebody twice, let alone beat somebody who's just as great as a fighter as you are. So right now, the Karjakz have 2 and the Assassins have 0. So, and y'all, I want to show y'all the poster, right? Just in case you decide you want to get you a Sensei poster. So that's Sensei right there. And then let's go have a look at Kanji, because I know y'all love them assassins. They're quite popular. Let's check that out. That's Kanji right there, y'all. So Assassins 0, Karjakz 2. So on to our next matchup. We've got Diesel versus Yukon. Let's have a look at Diesel, of course, right here. We have... This guy's like the strongest dude in the whole Karjakz Vs Assassins universe. I think the only guy that can equal his strength is Yukon, who we're going to talk about soon. Diesel is third in command on the team. Real name is Ben Warhol Gray. Diesel is, of course, his alias name. Citizenship is American, South American. His place of birth is Tulsa, Oklahoma. 6'5", 275. Eyes light brown, red when wearing the totem mask. You guys, I know you like totem mask. Yeah, I'm not telling you all about that. Wait till you see the book. Then you're gonna know about it, because I won't give you all too much. Hair color is black. Occupation, mechanical engineer, chief engineer of Icon Industries. So he's a very smart guy. You know, you rarely hear about big diesel dudes like that, because in cartoons where they're smart. Well, this guy is really smart. So, and then of course, fighting skills. He's a boxer / wrestler. And his choice of weapons are a power axe, a biosuit, gauntlets, and that totem mask that I told y'all about, which I'm not going to go into detail because you're going to learn about that totem mask in the book. And now let's talk about his adversary, Yukon. Man, this guy right here, man, wants to win by any means necessary. But Yukon is a ruthless assassin. His real name is Titus Manaluga. And let's have a look at him, right? Look at him. Yeah, you just look like the type of guy that you don't want no parts of. But he's got to go against Diesel. You know what I'm saying? Now, both these dudes right here, Yukon, alias is Yukon. His real name is Titus Manaluga. Citizenship, USA. Born in the Hawaiian Highlands. Place of birth of Kauai, Hawaii. 6'7", 288. He's a big man. Eyes brown. Hair color is black, gray, dreads. Occupation, security enforcer, Argon Tech. Fighting skills include wrestling, and then his choice of weapons are shock wave cables and this biosuit he's wearing. So now, Yukon, is like got this biosuit that was created for him by Sun Tzu, and not only does it amplifies his strength like to an unlimited fold, it gives him invulnerability too. So now he's going against another guy, Diesel, who's basically got the same kind of concept suit, and the only difference between them is really probably fighting skills And also too, Diesel is more of a tactician, whereas Yukon just wants to throw everything at you and see what happens. You're having two individuals. One has a plan, one doesn't have a plan. One is sort of, everything he has is sort of artificial. The other guy is who he is. So Diesel versus Yukon, in the end, I'd say Diesel's going to finally take him, because the first fight, it was a tie. You can imagine dudes throwing punches that feel like you're creating earthquakes. That's what these guys are. They're that powerful. Superman ain't got a chance against these dudes. Superman just flies around, but these guys can actually fight. So, Yukon versus Diesel, Diesel versus Yukon, Diesel finally gets a win. Finally beats Yukon finally, because they fought twice, like I said before. I've had an episode where I talked about it, but Diesel takes him. It's primarily because of tactics. Yukon is not a tactician. He's just, I'm just going to throw everything kitchen sink at you and see what happens. Well, Diesel's tactician. You can imagine he studied this guy. Like, how am I going to beat this guy? So, right now, as I said before, another win for the Karjakz. So that's 3 for the Karjakz and 0 for the Assassin. You're like, man, these Assassins are getting there. You know what's handed to them? No, we're still going. You know what I'm saying? So there's still hope. So now let's check out the posters, right? Just in case, if y'all want to buy you a poster, right? So let's show you the Diesel poster. You know what I'm saying? So these guys are quite popular. So I keep showing y'all the posters because I know some of y'all want to visit the website. So check it out. That's Diesel right there. Now let's check out his adversary, Yukon, who's I call him not Mr. Not Nice. That's a funny nickname. And that's Yukon right there, as y'all can see. He's a nasty looking dude, man. So, and the story behind that one eye, you're going to learn that in the book too. So I'm not going to tell y'all right now. So get ready for that book. It's coming out soon. And you also, like I've been saying before, you can get your own copy of this bio book on ScienceVision.com or ScienceVisionShop.com. It's a great read. So that's right there. The Karjakz 3, the Assassin 0. So let's move on to our next character, right? We've got Revo. You know what I'm saying? Revo versus Rasputin. This is a very interesting matchup. Yeah, this is like I know I've said Sincere Rasputin versus Revo. I've said Sincere and Kanji are two of the most powerful, best hand combatants in the whole Karjakz Vs Assassins universe. But these two dudes right here, they're very man, these guys are top notch. They're the best of the best. And the thing that makes these guys great is they don't use any kind of projectiles. Everything is close range, sticks, energy sticks, chakrams, you can think of it. So let's break them down. We've got Rasputin versus Revo. So real name, Sean Phoenix, alias Rasputin, citizenship USA, place of birth, Long Island, New York, 6'2", 209, eyes is brown, hair color is black, he's got dreads. I can't imagine for doing all the fighting with dreads, but thank God for masks, right? Occupation, student, major in biology. Fighting skills include kickboxing, Muay Thai, master karate, and choice of weapons are servo sticks, grappling gloves, ninja stars, targeting visor. And I'm not going to tell you about the rest of his weapons, but, that's Rasputin right there. So let's have a look at Rasputin, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Look at that. That dude is pretty cool. And wait to see the new version of Rasputin. Now, that's fire right there. Now, let's talk about his adversary, Revo. This dude, man, is just, man, I call him the super ninja. He's an incredible fighter. He's literally the mirror image of Rasputin. Real name is Tuan Lee. Alias is Revo. Citizenship is Filipino, South of African. Place of birth is Luzon, Philippines. 6'2", 190. Eyes is blue. Hair color black. Occupation, student, major, physics. Fighting skills, martial arts, and the shadow arts. Now, the thing about the shadow arts is it encompasses all kinds of different type of martial artists. And then, of course, it tailors towards what each character wants to do and what each character can do. I'm not going to tell you how each character absorbs the shadow arts, but just know there's some way they get it. And that's all I'm going to tell you. You're going to find that out in the book. So let's talk about this fight, right? Rasputin versus Revo. Man, these two dudes, this is probably the best. Like I said before, they are the two best hand combatants in the whole Karjakz Vs Assassins universe. But the first fight was a tie. This time, it's not going to be a tie. Because as great as Revo is, Rasputin finally gets to take him down. I think Revo's arrogance, because Revo's an arrogant character. And I guess if you're a villain, you're usually arrogant, but not all the time. But this dude's arrogant. And his arrogance is what's going to let him lose to Rasputin. He's a very tactical individual. Revo more counts on, I can beat you and I don't have to train. Whereas Rasputin's like, I put in the work. I train. I get myself better. Revo doesn't ever think that he needs to get better. He's like, I am already the best. Whereas Rasputin's like, I know I'm the best, but I can still stay. If I want to stay the best, then I got to train to be the best. So on this fight right here, y'all, hand skills and all, Rasputin takes him finally, he's like, I finally going to beat this dude. I mean, why is Rasputin beating him? Because he's just a better, in the end, hand combatant, more tactical. I think if you have two equal fighters and the one is more tactical, the tactical person is going to win. That's just how I think. That's how I feel like it's going down. So y'all stop tripping like, oh, the Assassins lost again. Yes, right now the Karjakz have 4 and the Assassins have 0. But don't be worried, man. It's not I'm saying it's not going to end like how you think it is. So let's check these guys out, right? Just in case y'all want a poster. I mean, who doesn't want a Karjakz Assassins poster? Check out Rasputin right here. Quite popular at the art shows. People like this on t-shirts. And let's check out Revo. I've never seen people like Villians so much. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is Revo right here. You know? So my family did tell me, man, they're going to like your heroes. Excuse me, they're going to like your villains as much as they like the heroes. So right there, right now, the Karjakz have 4 and the Assassins have 0. So let's move on to our next matchup. Karjakz versus Excursion. So let's look at Karjakz, right? Before I get to breaking him down, right? So now this guy, Karjakz, is the twin brother of Rasputin. One's more projectile and the other one's more hand combatant. So let's break them down, right? So Karjakz versus Excursion. And Karjakz, real name is Chris Phoenix. Alias is Karjakz, of course. USA, citizenship is USA. Place of birth is Long Island, New York. Height, 6'2", 212. Height is 6'2", weight is 212. So he's 3 pounds heavier than his brother. Eyes are brown. Hair color is black. He's got the crew cut there. He likes to fade sometimes. Occupation, student, major, computer science. Fighting skills, boxer, kickboxer, Muay Thai. And then choice of weapons are Gatling guns, spider darts, Teflon suit, and the targeting visor. I know you're wondering, like, what is targeting visor? Well, I'm not going to break it down for you, but you see it in the book. You know, the book gets to show you how all the tools and everything they use as individual characters work. But what I am going to give you today is like the fighting abilities of each character and who wins in a matchup, right? So let's talk about Excursion. Man, this dude right here, I mean, look at him. He just looks like the guy you should not be messing with. But somebody's got to mess with him, and Karjakz got to, give him that beat down. So let's talk about Excursion. Third in command of the Assassins, of course. He's sort of the field general for the Assassins. Any orders that artillery has to give out, she gives it to him, and he's got to deliver. Real name is Ruben Jones, alias Excursion, of course. Citizenship USA. Place of birth, Chicago, Illinois. Chi-Town up in the house. Height, 6'2", 250. This dude is huge. Hair color, black. Eyes, red implants. So, he's lost a little bit of his humanity. But you're going to get to know about that. If you want to know about it, you got to get this book. Karjakz Vs Assassins Biobook, available on sciencefiction.com. Occupation, head security at Argonne Tech. So, of course, not only is he the third in command of the Assassins and the field general, but he's also the head chief of security at Argonne Tech, which is owned by Sun Tzu himself. We eventually going to get to the overlord himself. This guy right here, Excursion, man, he's a beast, man. You know what I'm saying? And his choice of weapons, fighting skills, boxer, military training. So he has military training, former Marine. Weapons are 7.45 cannon, smart bombs, Zord cuffs. So let's talk about Excursion. Of course, you can see he's got cybernetic arms. I'm not going to go into detail how all that happened. You're going to get to know that when you read the book. But it's him versus Karjakz. We're talking about somebody who's half human and somebody who is all human. Both are tacticians. I guess the only real separation of state between them is intelligence, which can then lead to tactical strategies. Of course, Excursion is a military guy, but he's also the guy who also got dishonorably discharged. So that doesn't tell you he's that much of a tactician, but he's more of a just ruthless. I'm not playing by any rules. I'm gonna get you down by any means. Whereas Karjakz is more tactical. He uses he has a lot of swag with him. He's very confident in his talents, but he's very tactical about how he does things. And this guy, Karjakz versus Excursion, Karjakz is finally gonna get him because the first fight was a tie. So Karjakz is finally gonna get him. I know a lot of people looking like, but the other guy's so big. What's that got to do with anything? Don't forget that Excursion has cybernetics in him, and guess what Karjakz can do? Don't forget Excursion has cybernetics, and Karjakz is a he's a computer science, he's a computer genius. So he can literally, if he wanted to, control Excursion using like electronics. You know what I'm saying? So Karjakz, in the end though, this is gonna come down to like how I beat you. And I feel like Karjakz is finally gonna get him, because I said before, when they fought before, it was a tie. Not this time. So yes, here we go again. The Assassins have lost another fight. But don't lose faith, you know what I'm saying? The Assassins lost another fight, so it's a clear. Now it's the Karjakz 5, the Assassins 0. You know what I'm saying? Are we going to sweep them? I don't know, man. Should they? maybe. But you know what I'm saying? But if you want to get a poster, right? Let's check it out. We got Glocks over here. Quite favorite at the art shows. Been to many, many art shows. As you can see right there. Like, you can see why he's famous. Then, of course, you got Excursion. He's just straight ruthless, man. I mean, you see this dude. This is what you should have on your wall right here. This is very cool. So, you know, that's Excursion right there. So, the Assassins, I have 0 wins right now. And the Karjakz have 5. So, on to our next matchup. Like I've said, Kanji and Sincere were 2 of the most powerful women in the whole Karjakz Vs Assassins universe. But Escalade versus Artillery. Now, these 2 women are, in a way, the symbol of the Karjakz Vs Assassins universe. They are the 2 most powerful women on either side, on either group. Escalade versus Artillery. So let's talk about this matchup. Of course, she's the team leader of the Karjakz. Real name is Sarah Phoenix, alias Escalade, citizenship British American, place of birth London, England, 5'10", 152, eyes hazel, hair color is black. She gets braids sometimes, depends on what she feels like. Occupation, she's an Air Force colonel, ace pilot, tactical strategist. Fighting skills include black belt in Taekwondo and karate. And choice of weapons are the pulse cannon, targeting via smart bombs, and Teflon suit. And then, of course, she has the awesome fighter jet plane that she has. Now, let's talk about her adversary, Artillery, who's the general of the Assassins, and also the fiance of Sun Tzu. So let's break this down, right? Artillery, she's the second in command. Let's check that out. You know what I'm saying? Look at that, right? She's sick. Don't forget to check out Escalade, too. Look at that, man. I mean, these 2 women are just, man, you don't want none of them, man. So let's break down Artillery, right? So Artillery is second in command of the Assassins. She's basically Sun Tzu's general. Real name is Aeon Gray. And now Aeon Gray, remember this, I've told y'all this before. Artillery, Sincere, and Diesel are siblings. Yeah, I know, there's always one black sheep in the family. You're like, how did she become an assassin? The other 2 are Karjakz. You get to know that too in the book. The first official Karjakz Assassins book coming out. So let's keep it going, y'all. Real name is Aeon Gray. Alias is Artillery. Citizenship is American, South American. Place of birth is Albuquerque, New Mexico. 5'9", 142. Eyes is hazel. Hair color is black gray. Occupation, she's a bodyguard. I mean, really, bodyguard? She's lit second Sun Tzu's general. So, but she has to parade around like she's a bodyguard. I mean, she probably makes a lot of money too being a bodyguard, but she's not only the general, but she's his bodyguard. So it's like, what's better than having your future wife be your bodyguard? And then fighting skills include martial arts, black belt, and Taekwondo and karate. Now, of course, she's a former CIA agent, which doesn't hurt any either. Then her choice of weapons are plasma grenades, torch cannon, smart bombs, Smith & Wesson. So Artillery versus Escalade, man, this is like a straight up even matchup. I've had time to think about who to win this matchup, and in the end, I come to a conclusion: it'd be a draw. There's no real way for me to say that Escalade could defeat Artillery, because you're talking about 2 women who are very similar in tactical. They're very tactical. They're smart. They make plans before they do anything. They're great hand combatants. They can both fly planes or choppers or whatever you can think of. They both have military training as well as martial arts training. Even though Artillery has a shadow arts training, but Escalade is her training has been something she's been doing since birth. And so you have 2 level-headed, even individuals. And in the end, when I think of Escalade versus Artillery, it's a draw right here. So yeah, you're like, man, finally Assassins got one. Yeah, it's not like they got one, but it's a draw. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't see Escalade beating Artillery. It's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like good versus evil. Nobody's winning on this one. It's just like, hey, let's everybody just go back to their own sides. So let's check these ladies out, right? Just in case y'all want a poster. Check this out, y'all. So we've got Colonel Phoenix, a.k.a. Escalade. And then, of course, you got her adversary, the great Artillery herself. You know what I mean? So, you know, poster, t-shirt, whatever y'all thinking of, we got it available on ScienceFiction.com. And finally, last but not least, Cajun versus Sun Tzu. This is what everybody's been waiting for. This one's going to decide the fate. Not really, because right now the Karjakz have 5, the Assassins have 0. But you never know what's going to happen in the future, right? So, you know, Karjakz, Cajun, of course, he's not the leader of the Karjakz, but he's the guy who, you know, like pays for everything. So his real name is Jones Phoenix. Alias is Cajun, of course. Citizenship is USA, Nigerian. Place of birth, Hunters Green, New York. 5'11" in armor, 5'11", and in armor is 6'5". Weight is 192. and armor is 255. I know you're like, it's not that heavy. Actually, it kind of is. His armor is just designed not to be heavy. Eyes are brown, hair color is black. Occupation, engineer, owner, and CEO of Icon Industries. Fighting skills include master in karate, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, and Jeet Kune Do. Because I felt like, I'm a big Bruce Lee fan. I was like, I'm going to incorporate Bruce Lee's fighting style and give this dude some of Bruce Lee's fighting abilities. And of course, armor mode, we've got different types of armor that he uses. And then of course you got the weapons, blue blades, Omega beam, Cajun star, laser rays, light shield. This guy's armor's just got all kinds of stuff. Let's check it out, y'all. With his faithful tiger Sphinx, right? You see it, right? Look at him. He's looking sick. Now, let's talk about his adversary, the antagonist of the whole Karjakz Vs Assassins universe. Everything this guy does is what makes stuff happen. So, people have to make a decision on what they're going to do based on what he does. He's the leader of the assassins. I mean, just straight ruthless. He's not just trying to take over the world. He wants to take over the universe. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he's comparable to any great villain you can think of. Comparable, if not greater. Thanos, Darkseid, Brainiac. I mean, you got Darkon, Saber. You can think of them all. This guy he's just the man. He's a beast. Let's talk about who he is. Of course, he's the team leader of the assassins. He brought them together. And then the real name is Blaine Bishop. Alias is Sun Tzu. Citizenship USA. Place of birth Los Angeles, California. Height 6'2", in armor 6'7". Weight is 195, in armor 275. Eyes are light brown. Hair color is gray. Sometimes he's bald. Occupations, engineer, CEO of Argon Tech. So you had Excursion, who was the enforcer. Yukon, who was the enforcer at Argon Tech, and then Excursion is the chief of security. Well, this is what they're protecting, his place of business, Argon Tech, where he creates all these different weapons. And of course, fighting skills include martial arts, mastering karate and taekwondo, and the shadow arts. He invented the shadow arts. And of course, choice of weapons are the Sage Sword, Quantum Beam, Shadow Cannons, Sonic Disc, Invisible Shield. And of course, his faithful tiger, Seth, as y'all can see, right? Look at Sun Tzu looking sick. So this was a chance for me to think about this, like these two even combatants. Of course, one is evil and one is not evil. They're like parallels of each other. One is like more heavier, one is lighter, one is bigger, one is smaller, but there's a point where the fight becomes even, because I've had time to I've almost had 2-3 weeks to think about who would win this fight. In the end, I came to a conclusion that it'd be another draw. Yeah, that's right, another draw. It's just like, it's like, I don't know if y'all ever read those comic books where you had Marvel versus DC. It was 4 episodes, four issues, and it was just insane to see how many draws there were in it. And I got to thinking like, wow, it's really tough to decide who will win a fight. And when you read of all the information, and I'm the guy who created all these characters, it's like, wow. So this was the first time for me to actually in detail think of how this fights would go. And Sun Tzu and Cajun are literally even. Even if you include their tigers, Seth and Sphinx, they're still even, because both those tigers have the same similarities. You know what I'm saying? One can grow big, organic steel. The other one can grow into shadows. So it's just really a really close fight. But in the end, it's a tie. And so it'd be the Karjakz get 5 wins. Everything's a draw. The Assassins get 0 wins. But I feel like these fights right here, this one right here, Sun Tzu versus Cajun, it doesn't decide the whole outcome of the Karjakz universe, but it would stop the Assassins from winning. So on this round of Karjakz Assassins fight, the Karjakz take it. 5 wins, 0 wins for the Assassins, and 2 draws. Cajun and Sun Tzu are just even, period. So let's check out all the heroes, just in case you guys wanted posters of the guys. Of course, you see Cajun. You can see it, as if you pay attention to my t-shirt, you can see him on here. This is the classic, the first version of the Karjakz Assassins. Then of course you got the leader, Sun Tzu himself. Let's check it out. Right there. And look, let's check him out with the assassins, right? As you can see, look at all these awesome assassins. And let's check out the Karjakz too. Heroes and villains. Check that out, y'all. So, and if you want the whole thing again, the whole poster, as I showed y'all in the beginning, right? Look at that. Karjakz Vs Assassins universe. So this version 5, the more recent version we got. So, this Karjakz Vs Assassins fight, it's like something I'm going to keep doing. We're going to have another issue of it again. Right now, today though, the Karjakz take it 5-0 with 2 draws. So, you can also get this book, like I've been telling y'all, on Karjakz Vs Assassins on SansVision.com or SansVisionShop.com. So that concludes our show today, y'all. So I want to thank y'all for listening. This podcast is produced, written, and directed by yours truly, Adewale Awoku Jr. Please check out our website at SansVisionShop.com or SansVision.com. And please subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen, whether that's Amazon, Deza, Spotify, Apple, and you can also listen on our website at SansVisionShop.com. Don't forget to check out our social media platforms at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, all at SansVision. And please don't forget to review us, rate us, give us a 5-star, don't be a hater. And as always, continue to aspire and achieve. Have a great week, y'all. Stay safe. Peace.